Hold on 1 second. Alexa, turn off. All right, we are live in Chef's Kitchen in Orange County, California. We are joined each and every podcast by the man, the myth, the legend, Dave Frost. So Dave has a lot on his mind about, a lot of things. So Dave, where do you want to start?
Well, there's two areas. I did a pretty good dive into Toronto and their depth and that kind of stuff. And then obviously what just happened in Canada at the World Juniors is a hot topic here.
Yeah.
And I got some thoughts that are probably not going to be popular with people, the tree huggers.
Yeah.
The sexual assault trial, the people that believe hockey players are pricks and, they get away with murder with the way they act and whatever. But listen, I want to preface this with hockey at that level and really at the NHL level is not the same. The Americans have caught up and they're just as good as Canada at development, at their minor hockey level. The GTHL in Toronto, where virtually every Canadian NHL player played there at some point,
right,
is probably the best league in the world still. But there's plenty of really good American city organizations and the development of the U17 program in the States. Bob Goodnow's son Joe went to it,
right.
And he told me unequivocally that it was a great development, etc. Jordan Tutu back in the day ran rampant at the World Juniors. Right. He was like a fucking train running guys over. Now, Canada lacks those types of players nowadays. It's the reason why Tom Wilson is such a fucking sought after commodity in the NHL nowadays. Because I guess it's like the old saying is, they just don't make them like they used to.
Right.
But the Canadians aren't the best anymore. And for Canadians, I'm hearing all these comments. The coach is an idiot. Well, the coach was an idiot. He didn't play his top players enough. They supposedly selected the wrong roster. They left some really key guys off. But they've been doing that for like 20 years.
Right.
Like fucking Sheldon Keefe was the leading scorer. Mike Danton was on his line. He ripped the league apart. And they left both of them off totally because of politics. So they've been doing stuff like this for years. Now, what I will say is the Americans are going to win the tournament unless they crash and burn.
Right.
Roster-wise, they're by far the best roster in the tournament. Oddly enough, their goaltending's a little suspect. But I'll bet you the Americans, and I think they're well coached, I'll bet you they sustain the pressure and they win it. Now, people get confused. The NHL Canada and America is run by NHL people.
Right.
the junior Canadian program, these guys aren't fucking anything. Like, it's, I don't want to say it's a joke, but it's pretty close to a joke. And when I mentioned the sexual assault, the reason I did is Canada's just happy now at that level to get through a tournament without any police or women or parties, and everyone's on their best behavior, and winning is secondary. That's a fucking fact. That's what's happened to the program because of these past idiot nights where they weren't, curfewed or being watched or maybe even being told prior, hey, be fucking smart, you're a target, blah, blah, blah. So I could break down the game and tell you who he wasn't playing and it's irrelevant. They probably were not even fucking close. And the coach kept saying, oh, we're tired, we need a day off. I say, fuck off. The Americans practiced every day. It was short and sweet, power play, penalty kill practices, but that's what you need to do. You need to fucking practice. And don't coddle these fuckers and say, oh, they're tired. That's why we're not, it's a lot of pressure. They're in Canada.
Right.
Fuck off. This is what makes them, it tests their mettle. And that's what you want. Because the best ones become Sidney Crosby, right?
Right. So let me just ask.
You know what, Chef? It's tough luck. The Americans have caught up, and it really is that simple. And all those teams have gotten better. Better development, better coached, better systems, everything.
So what system would you suggest Canada could use? Because I'll tell you right now, why don't they just hire a junior coach and he stays at that position until he's not? It seems like every year they got a new coach.
Yeah, they do. Now, there's something to be said for what you just said. I think what maybe Canada should do is back the fuck off. Hire a general manager coach to run the fucking program year round and don't fire him until he fucking loses.
Right.
Dave Cameron coaches the Ottawa 67s. They're an average team. He's an average coach. He's a bit of a fucking dickhead, to be honest. Like, when I was an agent, he coached against Sheldon and Mike. So he sends the guy over the boards to go after Keith. So then Dayton jumps the boards and goes after that guy. He was just a dickhead.
Right.
Like, he was a hothead. He's a fucking bad coach. Fuck off. He shouldn't have got the job. But I like the idea of a year-round, full-time.
If they had year-round practices and accountability and everything else that would, wiggle the nipple off the ice, you would think that they'd get their shit together. If they have the most talent, which everybody says they do, what happened? Like, they need to have a coach that matches the talent. It irks me to no end to have USA Hockey, of all governing bodies, leading the tournament. Because I loathe USA Hockey.
Yeah, but I also will say to you, like I said, there's a separation between the NHL Olympic experience and the management. Right. I believe USA Hockey, and specifically the stuff that you don't like about USA Hockey, that a lot of people don't like, frankly.
Yep.
There's a degree of separation with that junior national program that Goodenhouse Kid was in, which was run separately from the minor hockey.
Right.
And it was run more professionally, and it was tough. And the players didn't get really enough games, but they got good development. And
Right.
if you have to take 20 players in Canada to try and win this fucking thing, and it's that important to you, you have to kind of do the same thing. Or maybe you do something where they split their time between the national Canadian program and their junior teams. I mean,
Right.
it's within Canada. You're only a flight away from wherever you set up shop, right?
Right. So I'll say this really quick as well. In the States, at least the non-border Canadian border states, we don't watch the OHL or the Canadian Junior League. We just don't get it on TV. We don't even have this tournament in our TV package for the NHL.
They're not covering it at all.
No, I have. The only game I've ever seen is the game I went to in Hartford in 1996.
I gotta tell you, that's disgusting that the Americans
Yep.
don't put the gold, silver medal games on.
It's never going to draw. It's never going to earn enough money to warrant a spot on the app. It's nowhere.
And even next year when it's in Minnesota, they won't.
I don't know where it would be. I've never. And you know what? If there is a link for it, it's on the ESPN package, I can't find it.
I do remember years ago, the NHL Network played a game, only the gold medal game USA was in.
Yep, that does not surprise me. That does not surprise me. But all the rest of the games, if they're here in the United States, they must be on the NHL Network, and they are not marketing it at all. It doesn't even. I'll tell you what bothers me, and I'm not knocking the women, but the first thing that pops up for TSN is an update on the women's league. I get it. You're trying to market it. Why is it even here in California? Why is that marketing on my app? The whole thing is just bullshit. They need to restructure everything, but they won't. I mean, they're trying to market.
I'll tell you right now,
they're not doing a good job.
The Canadian thing is serious. Like, people are pissed.
Right.
2 years in a row, couldn't even get to the quarterfinal.
And you get knocked out by the Americans both times?
Well, last night they lost to the Czechs, but...
All right. I didn't even know. How would I fucking know?
Yeah, see, that's bad.
Don't know.
That is really bad. Fuck.
And I'll be honest about this. Unless it's where I'm not looking, can't find it. Can't find it. And I can't even find it on a bootleg, which I love. But that's not the point. The point is I cannot find it to buy. I cannot find it on the ESPN app. I cannot find it anywhere. It's nowhere to be seen. That's brutal. Now, the women's, I don't even know where I'd find that. I'll tell you it was an Olympic year. The last time I saw a women's game in the States was Kevin Dineen's first game coaching the Canadian Olympic team. I believe that was 2012. That's it. It's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. It is a nightmare. And it'll be like there's so much more that they could be doing, but they're doing so much less. So I have a couple of questions. You mentioned that Danton and Sheldon were passed over. So this question might be something that you had learned, working with your colleagues. So Dale Hunter came out and was pissed on the way that Easton Cowan was used. How often does that happen as an agent, that he's pissed at Canada Hockey for the use of their clients
Oh yeah, fuck, that shit happens like every tournament,
all the time.
all the time. Now, Hunter's probably more pissed because Cameron wasn't using like Cowan enough.
Right. Did you see that story come out at all? Because how the fuck I saw it, I have no idea.
One of my buddies had told me that Hunter was pissed.
Yeah.
At Cameron. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. Cowan could have played better. He wasn't awful. He wasn't awesome. Listen, this kid needs to play at that level with good players and play a lot. He went from playing 30 minutes a night to like 12.
That's not going to help.
Well, that would kill you, right?
Right. Right.
But at the end of the day, it needs to be revamped and looked at on how they are developing and doing things. I mean, Canadian goaltending has been a problem for years now. And the goalie for the World Junior team was pretty good, but he wasn't sensational. And he let a goal in with under a minute last night to cost him the game. Short side. There's no more Patrick Waugh, Carey Price anymore.
Why is that? Why is Canadian goaltending falling?
I don't know if it's the development of the goaltending programs or lack thereof, or it's so expensive. Parents talk their kids out of being goaltenders.
Yep.
It's very expensive, Chef.
Oh yeah, I know. So when I coached, it's not even on the same stratosphere, but when I coached in Florida, I had 3 goaltenders that were the same age, and the parents wanted to know, is my kid going to play or is he going to sit the bench? And if he's sitting the bench, why am I paying $3,000 in goalie gear to have him sit the bench?
I got to tell you, as a parent, my kids are old now, but I would have thought the same fucking way.
Yeah. Yep. I found a kid, and I don't want to mention their names, but I had a kid that came to practice, worked very hard. He knew he was going to be the backup, and I never treated him like the backup. I treated him like he was number 1, and I enjoyed it. And we never charged him for playing time. We never charged, because why? But he was game ready every practice, every game. So I get the fact of the cost, but that can't be all of it. I mean, when Patrick Waugh came out, the world was swimming with butterfly goalies. It was Eric Fashad, Felix Potvin, Jamie Storr, the too numerous to count. Kay Whitmore. I mean, what happened? There's Martin Brodeur. It's got to be something. There's got to be something that has. And here's the other scary thing: you're going to find out in a month what the Americans have done with their goaltending. That goaltending for Four Nation for the Americans is going to be hot, but it's not as developed as the Russians, who have no team in the Four Nations. And so why is that? So are you going to tell me that the Russians have passed Canada and the United States for goaltending development? It just doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense.
Well, it appears they have, though.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, though. I mean,
Trump's going to end that war in time for Russia to be at the Olympics.
The fucking goalies are going to approve in Canada? Is that how that's going to work? Did you get that?
No, what'd you say?
I said, so Trump's going to end the war in the Ukraine, and then the Americans and Canadians are going to have goaltending that's better?
No, opposite. Russia's going to play in the Olympics.
Well, Russia will play in the Olympics for sure. I don't want to get into the Four Nations stuff. I've already yelled and screamed about it. But Okay, so
Honestly, I think that tournament is kind of irrelevant. I'll be honest.
yeah,
It's a warm up for the Olympics at best.
Yep.
And that brings me to my point about 34 on the Maple Leafs.
Okay.
This kid, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him. His body looks horrible. He's skinny. He doesn't look like he's built any muscle to protect whatever these injuries have been. The kid can shoot the puck. He certainly can score. You'd have to be a moron to not see that. But hey, he gets hurt. He's a fucking Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But take a look at him. Maybe a little less earrings and wearing a man purse and worrying about fashion and more get in the fucking gym, build some fucking muscle to protect yourself on the ice. And when you do throw your weight around, you'll knock guys flying. I wouldn't let that fucker go to the Four Nations if I was running the Leafs. I'd sit him on the IR. And I tell him, you let me know when you're 100% healthy.
Well, one of the articles I did read online today, which we all know is the truth, that Matthews could sit out the rest of the regular season and come back like Kucherov did in Tampa. What do you think about that?
I love that they could get someone on the market, not just like there's rumors they're going to bring in Taves, Jonathan Taves.
Right.
But
what do you think about that?
Well, like, you guys sat for 2 years.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something project like that, you best get him in the fucking lineup fast and get him into shape and whatever.
I don't like Taves.
Oh, I love him as a player.
Well, you know, it still has I'm still bitter about Chicago and the lottery. I can't figure out why you can have a sexual harassment lawsuit and still be able to select number 1 overall. I still can't figure out why they weren't punished. And I can't figure out with a club like that they get an outdoor game as well. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's because the GM and the coach got banned and suspended.
Well, but I mean, so no punishment to the organization. 0 punishment.
I think they got a big fine, right?
Ooh, a fine.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't do shit, but
I mean, Samueli got a big fine when he tried to bribe the judge, didn't he?
Yeah, he paid that like with his other bank account that doesn't. Yeah.
But they haven't had. If you look at Anaheim, they've never gotten a break since. No first overall.
I feel sorry for that kid on Canada if he's got to go play for the Ducks after next draft. Wow.
Which kid? This ought to be good. You ready for this?
I can't remember his name.
The kid the Ducks selected 3rd, which was the wrong pick. He was cut. He didn't play for. Is there another kid on that team that was with the Ducks?
No. I'm talking about. There's a kid who just played on Canada. He had a good tournament. It's going to go number 1 next year.
Oh, right.
And everyone's saying, oh, the poor kid, he'd probably go to the Ducks.
They are a mess. I know they've won 2 in a row, but they are an absolute.
Yeah, I don't even. Don't get me going. So here's what I've noticed about the Leafs.
Okay.
This may surprise you. I don't like the way Tree Living and Berube are kind of looking at this. Their role players fucking suck.
Yep.
I'm watching these guys close over the past few weeks, and they're the reason why they're losing games they shouldn't. And people will say, well, Matthews is hurt. Marner can only do something. Look, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, they've been pretty consistent.
Yep.
Knives needs to be grittier. He needs to, like, I love him, but he needs to step it up. He's a big kid. He needs to step into people, play with a little more tenacity.
Well,
I
yeah.
love
Go ahead.
67.
Oh, Max?
What's his name?
Max Pacioretty.
Pacioretty. He's fucking phenomenal. He's running guys over. You can't ask for anything more.
He's never played like that.
And you gotta let guys play physical. That's why you need Reeves in to keep the lineup straight. So guys won't go after them because Reeves will step in.
Right.
Dewar, Kempf. Actually, I like Lorenz.
Yep.
All the rest of them, brutal. Domi and Robertson. What's the rest of that line?
I like McCann.
Yeah, I like McCann too. Who's playing on that line with Domi and Robertson right now?
McCann's been there for a few games, but
that line's had some pluses. Chef, the rest of them, they're fucking awful.
Robertson is the worst. Why is he there?
You gotta change your depth if you want to win.
You know, I like Kampf and I like Lawrence and I like Reeves, but
I don't like Kemp. I think Reeves, if you use him right, and Lawrence, he needs to stay in.
Right. Yeah, I don't know where the Russian is. They sent him down and he hasn't been back.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They want him to develop.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with it, but he may be back for playoffs. You watch.
Well,
unless they make a trade, they need, like, people in Toronto are pissed that the centerman's not on the team. They sent him back to the minors. People are pissed.
Oh, Minton. Yeah.
He could be back. Toronto needs to make a trade for the deadline. There's no doubt. Matthews is the biggest disappointment to me.
Well, they did sign the defenseman today, Myers.
Yeah, but like he's a fifth, sixth.
Yeah. But he's with Morgan Riley.
I think they need to trade for Shen, put him with Morgan Riley for the playoffs. I mean, if I was in charge, I'd be going after Shen. That's the type of guy they need for playoffs.
Right.
When's the last time they won a round?
2 years ago.
Who played with Riley?
Luke Shen.
There you go.
Yep. And then Dubas let him walk out the door.
Wow. Look, Dubas is a fucking dickhead, right?
He's doing great in Pittsburgh.
Oh, God, yeah, they're wonderful. When Pittsburgh wins, they win because of their depth.
Yeah.
Not because of him. I don't think he's made one good trade.
No. He's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. What do you think of the Capo Caco trade to Seattle from the Rangers?
Well, you asked me that a couple weeks ago, and I think the same. Time will tell, but I think potentially both teams can benefit down the road from that.
Well, he's on fire, and he loves it in Seattle, and they love him.
Well, yeah, you know why? Because he's not playing behind Laviollette's top six anymore.
Yeah.
I can't believe there isn't more going down there.
Well, the players love the coach. They hate the GM. Zibanejad is the next one to walk the plank. It's
Oh, Chef, I will tell you, close to your neighborhood, I watched Kings Jersey the other night.
Yeah.
And New Jersey's got a good team. Like Keith, despite his not inability to make his team play tough, his team, New Jersey's a well-oiled machine right now.
Right.
And they didn't play bad. LA just outclassed them that night.
Yeah. LA took it to them.
And I thought Los Angeles not only is looking really strong, and they got Doughty coming soon.
Yep.
But they respond to that coach.
Yeah, he's a pretty good coach.
And I'll fucking tell you, if I'm Blake, I'd land a couple guys on the deadline, maybe take a run in LA.
Well, the biggest problem that the Kings have is that they always end up playing Edmonton in the playoffs, first round.
So then trade for players to counter that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because Edmonton can be beaten. They have really weak goaltending and really only 3 players that even scare me up front.
yeah. Hyman's not one of them.
No, not no more.
No. Okay, so let me ask you this. What do you, when you were an agent, and people did ask me this as well, when did you know that Sheldon and Danton would not be on the junior team?
Well, we knew fairly early because of the politics. Because Mike and Sheldon marched to the beat of their own drum, man.
Yeah.
But, like, I had a guy with Hockey Canada come to me that year and say, look, I tried to tell these guys, let's just take them together, put them on their own line, and they'll fucking dominate. And it's not like they're bad guys.
Right.
They would have been part of the team. They weren't drinking and fucking broads and doing stuff that would fucking derail the team. It was just politics because they marched to the beat of their own drum.
Right.
Although Sheldon was the leading scorer in the Ontario League and Mike was top 10. And Mike could beat the shit out of anybody back then. He would have been like Jordan Tutu in that tournament. But hey, that's Canada. Canada bites off their fucking foot sometimes, right?
Yep.
In the NHL, it's a little less likely to happen, the politics, because there's just too much fucking pressure. You've got to take the best guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, the Tom Wilson, they fucked up. He should be on that team.
Oh, for Four Nations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tom Wilson is a fucking stud. First off, he's not like most guys who are like Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson was a fucking consummate scorer in junior, and he can fucking skate, and he's strong. It's not like he would be at a place. So that was a mistake. Well, and I don't give a fuck if they win the tournament or lose the tournament. It's a mistake. Should take. I think the States almost would be better off without Matthews.
Well, I don't think he's playing. I mean, you got to think it'll probably take 2 or 3 weeks to get him anywhere back.
Well, you know right now what he's doing is he's trying to get himself ready so he's 75% so he can go. Listen, I've not been more disappointed in a player. I can't even remember the last time.
Marner last week.
Well, Marner, for his inability in playoffs, drives me insane.
Right.
But Matthews, with his, I'll tell you what, let me say this to you. Here's an agent top. If I represented that motherfucker, I'd sit him in the room and say, listen, pal, either you really want to be a fucking hockey player or you want to be a fashionate and Bieber's friend and get into other areas. And go ahead. You're never going to be a fucking true leader, a legend in the sport, unless you take hockey first. So take the next fucking 5 years, 3 years, and focus your ass on bettering your ability to build muscle so you don't get hurt. Change your fucking mindset. Take the earrings out. Be a hockey player. But he won't do it.
No.
And everybody in his life is too scared to tell him. I'll fucking tell you right now, he's got issues.
Yeah.
He
Would you trade him?
doesn't have that drive.
Would you trade him?
See, I would, but they never will.
Would you trade him for McDavid?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, why hasn't McDavid signed his extension? Why?
Well, there's rumors that he would love to come to Toronto, but Chef, I mean this sincerely. Like Matthews, this situation, and this is not going to be, Toronto fans are going to be pissed, and they're going to probably write you and say Frost is a yo-yo, blah, blah, blah. Matthews is soft as fucking butter.
Yep. Oh, I know that. Okay, so here's another question for you, switching gears a little bit. Are you worried about Vlad?
Am I worried?
Yeah.
No, because I already know they're going to fuck it up because they're idiots.
Where's Vlad going?
You know what? Who knows, but...
He's going to the Yankees.
You think so, eh?
Well, why would the Yankees just sign a first baseman on a one-year deal?
You know, if I was Toronto now and I couldn't get him signed, I'd fucking trade him to the Yankees.
Sign and trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, Chef, they're on the verge of being a consummate, fucking unmitigated fucking disaster. And once they fire these two morons in the summer, it'll be too fucking late. Goodbye, Bo. Goodbye, Vlad. Right?
Yep. I think that's why Bregman won't sign there, and no one else will. It's a disaster.
Toronto's, and don't give me this shit about taxes. Fucking California taxes are just as bad as Canada.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, I mean, it's sad because they're on the verge of being like zero. And I'll tell you, in Toronto, it will affect their crowds. It's not like the Leafs. They'll still get their weekend, parties and guys together because they have a really good stadium. Right. A really good atmosphere to go drink some beer, eat some wings on the patio, and watch the game. All kinds of good areas that you can do that. There's some cheaper tickets, but their $40,000 a night are gone.
Yeah.
And it's sad because they were on the verge of being like superior.
Yep.
You bring in these morons.
Yeah, I can't believe they haven't. Well,
Like the president's done wonders for the stadium. The GM's done wonders for unemployment. He's yet to make a move.
right.
I don't think he can convince people to come here.
Well, I think the last major signing they had was Springer.
Hello?
I'm right here. You there, Dave? Your camera's freezing up. Dave? Dave? There you go. I see you. Your camera, your video is screaming up. Yeah. You there? And he's gone. Well, folks, this is another edition of Dave Frost and Chef's Kitchen. I'm your host. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's back. Oh, let's take him to the stage. There he is. Dave, are you there? Dave, there you go. What happened? Oh, no, Dave. Dave's not here. Dave. All right. Please stand by. Oh my gosh, that was my stomach. Dave Frost. Dave. Oh, what's going on there? Dave. Dave, is the caller there? Oh, that's Phil Donahue. And Dave's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Laguna Hockey Academy Original 6-2-on-2 League. Tonight's games are sponsored by New York Upper Crust Pizza, the mother source of Laguna Gal, but one is conveniently located near you. Hey. You have that unwanted house guest? Hey, look no further than the Hills Hotel to send his sorry ass. Oh, look, Roy, it's the king of all media, Joey Hanahusa. Let's try to get Dave back one last time. Add to the stage, Dave Frost.
Yeah, don't lose that because that was great.
You heard all that?
No, I didn't hear anything. It went dead after I talked about Atkins. But don't lose what we did because that was really good.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Perfect.
All right. Dang. What do you think of so many NFL games on the over the holidays? Did you like them? Did you hate them?
You know what? I mean, the holidays sucked for me, my first time without B and all that.
Right.
But
yeah.
It was, I guess the way I would term it, it was just something to watch.
Right.
I didn't find any of it. Did you? Did you find it really entertaining?
No.
Like, I know Ty was pumped because he's a Chargers fan and they clinched, right?
He likes the Chargers?
Yeah, man. When we were in California, he got hooked on them.
Holy shit.
Now, they were in San Fran then, right?
They were in San Diego.
San Diego, sorry.
Yeah. But
because we had a guy on Drake's baseball team. His dad was a cop, actually. And he used to go every Sunday when they were at home. He had season tickets.
Man. Well, that was actually the last NFL game that I saw was the Giants and the Chargers. It was about 8-9 years ago.
Hey, you know what he told me? I'll tell you what he told me, Chef. He was originally from New York.
Okay.
Big hockey fan, so he loved me, right?
Sure.
soon as he found out that was the agent, that was it. Fucking
Yep.
all over me all the time. But anyway, he's like, Dave, going to games sucks. He goes, watching NFL on TV is where it's at.
Yep.
And I found that like really strange because I said, well, it's the opposite. For me, going to a hockey game is phenomenal because you can watch the whole play.
Right.
And like me, I watch a lot away from the puck.
Right.
I watch the coach. I watch how they kind of respond to the coaches. And I'm way different than most people. I really enjoyed my time in the NHL
Right.
because of that. I like watching games on TV if it's two good teams.
I'm over the Chiefs. I can't handle it.
See, I think there's still danger, Chef.
Yeah.
Mahomes, his fucking offensive line, they're scary still.
Well, I don't know. I'm over Mahomes. I'm over the Chiefs. I still think some of it's rigged. What are you gonna do?
Come on, you're not like that.
I don't know. Like the penalties in the Super Bowl against Philadelphia, I thought that was bullshit. I don't know. What do you think of the Giants screwing themselves out of the first overall pick?
Isn't that unbelievable?
I fucking love it. What a bunch of stupid fucks. Hey, we beat the fucking Colts, motherfucker. Nice job, assholes. Wow.
That's insane, isn't it?
What's that?
It's insane. I want to show you what I'm watching. Look.
That's Andy Reid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Christ, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, so I had a question for you.
Sure.
When you've been watching Leaf games, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I've been watching the Leafs games, sometimes in the comfort of my home and sometimes in my Tesla.
Yeah, yes. I know you told me that. That's ridiculous.
Fucking love it.
Now, when you're sitting in Eli's machine,
yeah,
are you noticing anything? I don't want to just wait. I don't want to give it away because there's something that I think if they don't fix for playoffs, they're in trouble. Is there anything you notice about their big game guys?
Lazy. I don't see them they're inconsistent. They're lazy. I mean, I got to give them some credit. I mean, they do go balls to the wall, but I also don't see them working as a team. It's like there's the 4 or 5 or 6 in the clique, and then that's it.
See, sort of on that, like, I've been really impressed with Tavares and Marner.
Well, that's a little different, yeah.
They got to get some fucking tenacity to win in playoffs.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by lazy.
It's like when I look at Nyes and McMahon, those type of guys, Pacioretty, you can add him to the mix now.
Right.
Chef, they're fucked if any of those 3 get hurt.
Well, yeah. Nice hasn't been the same since White Cloud jumped and hit him. And I think he's got 2 goals in the last 23 games. I mean, we were talking about having Nice playing for the 4 Nations, and no fucking way. I like McCann, and I think he plays with a lot of grit. And Pacioretty has never played this hard. That kid is soft. He's always been soft, but he changed his game and he came out and said, I got to change my game. I mean,
you got to give the guy credit, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, he's from New Canaan, Connecticut, same place where Zegras is from, that general area.
So, don't blame that on Pacioretty.
Well, he was soft. He's been soft for 15 fucking years, and now all of a sudden, the end is near. So
yeah, but Chef, him and McCann and Knives are gonna be crucial for the skilled guys to have room in playoffs, or they're out again. Florida will fucking dismantle them.
What do you think about Domi? He seems lost every fucking
game.
I
know, but playoff time, you'll be able to rely on his grit.
Right. So we have already talked about like Robertson and the rest of them. I'm one of the few, like, fucking Timmins has got to go. Like, I hope this Meyer signing and it really leads to showing Connor Timmins the door. So my next question is, do you ever have a player on waivers that was claimed and then a few months later claimed back by the original team?
Yeah, Sheldon, Tampa.
What was the time? Was it a couple of years or was it just
no, within that year? Sheldon was supposed to get claimed by San Jose. I think I told you the story.
Yeah, San Jose.
Well, in fact, San Jose did claim him, but New York was in a lower position, so they got him. Fucking Sather and I fought for 2 months.
Yep.
Because he wouldn't play him, and they were garbage.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even play him. Like I was saying, like, why the fuck did you claim him? So I got Maloney to put him back on waivers. And San Jose was going to grab him, but Tampa took him back.
Yep. Dudley picked him back up.
Yeah, Sheldon was livid.
Why?
Why what?
Why was he livid that Tampa picked him up? I thought he liked him.
He wanted to go to San Jose.
Yeah.
Because they were going to play him.
And Tortorella loved him.
No, Tortorella fucked him. I'm gonna. Tortorella only played him that 1 year on the third line, and then whatever, they made some trades and whatever. He got claimed on waivers, and at the end of the day, they fucked him. But the NHL, for a prospect, is all about opportunity.
Right.
Sheldon was never given the opportunity that Brad Richards was.
Right.
And Gillis and I couldn't understand it. And Richards took off and Sheldon toiled in the minors, right?
I remember Richards taking off. I remember the year before Richards got there, Tampa had this gritty centerman that, Steve Martins was his name. And he was drafted by Hartford. So
yeah, he was a little short, hard-working fucker.
Gritty little motherfucker. And Martins wore 19. So
Mike played with him in St. Louis, eh?
Yeah. He was there for like half a year, right?
Well, a couple months. They got him at the deadline.
Yeah. And I think Martins just missed out on playing 400 games. So that was a big deal for I always like to see the former Whalers play 40 or 400.
Yeah, fucking right. The pension, man, $250 a year.
Holy fuck. So
there are guys struggling.
Oh,
without that pension.
So Louis fucking DeBrusque played 400 right at the line. I don't know what he did to get that, and then he was gone, never played again.
Why? He was tough, right?
Right, but I mean, right at 400, fucking mid-season, and that's it. The absolute fucking worst. The worst was Mike Hartman played 397 games and was an asset in every facet of the game. And he never played because he stepped up during the lockout. He spoke his mind. Well, that
Actually,
was it.
you know what? I really liked him.
Yeah. He was with the Rangers a little bit. San Jose, I think, was in there.
Oh, I just always thought he was very solid and steady.
Yep. Screwed. There were so many of them that are screwed. Grant Jennings was another one. So close, but like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, I know Grant Jennings ended up playing for the Leafs, as a third line winger or whatever it was, but I always feel like you get so close and then that's it. I mean, how the fuck does that happen? I mean, it's not like it was JF Jump. But still, it's it always pissed me off. It's
JF Jump didn't play anywhere near 400 games.
No, played 59, I believe it was. 59. Can you tell me the Anaheim Ducks record that JF Jump holds?
No, fastest goal or something.
2 fastest goals in a rookie game. 4 seconds.
After California,
Yeah.
my time in California where I met him and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Danton said to me, that guy better hope I never play against him in any league, anywhere, anytime.
Why?
He said he was going to destroy him.
Just felt like it?
No, because he had heard some things that Jump said after. I told Randy Bird, and Randy goes, I warned him. I warned him to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
You know what Randy told me?
No.
This is funny. Jump said to Randy when it all came out.
Yeah.
He goes, we should go over there and pull him out of there and kick the shit out of him. And Randy goes, you've met him, right, JF? And JF's like, yeah, there's 2 of us. He goes, he'll fucking hit us over the head with a hockey stick. Are you fucking out of your mind? And he goes, he likes me. With you, you might get punched by a fucking curl bar. So JF Jump changed his mind. But they came over.
Now, was that your first stint in California or your second? Second.
It was the Laguna time, the zone.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So JF Jump says, take me off the website.
Yeah.
And I said, you're on the website? I think there's Randy's on it.
No. Yeah.
And then I looked and Barth had him on his portion.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, you talk to Barth. I don't have you on mine. I don't promote guys who've only played like a handful of games.
Yeah.
And he got pissed.
Yep.
But Randy told me like a couple months later we were drinking. He's like, hey, you know what he said to me? And I'm like, oh, you should have told him to do it.
I remember that night drinking with Randy Burridge.
I said to Randy, you imagine what I would have mopped the fucking floor with him.
At Hennessy's.
Yeah, I never went out with him. He happened to be at a couple of pubs with Burridge.
Oh, right.
When we got into it, but I never like made plans and set out like Bird and I did that.
Yeah.
Monthly, weekly, sometimes daily. Fuck.
I remember because we would be at Hennessy's and I would be out with Laura Cheeseburger. That was remember the girl?
Yeah, I'd call you and say, "Get the fuck over it." Yeah.
Yep. So Laura Cheeseburger was like 5'4", maybe 125 pounds, soaking wet, and she would drink. And she had, some people when they drink, they got to have nachos, they got to smoke cigarettes, they got to, play darts.
Yeah.
Not Laura Cheeseburger. Laura Cheeseburger would chase a beer with another cheeseburger. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that, but
Oh
that's
God,
great.
that was the night when Burridge told the bartender to Google him.
Yeah. Well, fuck, he said that every time I was out with him.
Yeah, I know. Yep, I remember that.
Well, because we were in California. Randy and I were at a chicken place in Dana Point.
Yep.
And the owner's behind the counter. He gives us our chicken. I love their chicken. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the place. Anyways, he comes around from the corner. He walks up to me. He goes, "Excuse me." I'm like, Randy and I turn. Yep. He's like, "I just seen you on E60."
Yeah. Yep.
Randy's like, "Fuck, you know how long I played in an NHL? And you recognize him?"
Yep.
And he
I
goes,
remember.
"You played in the NHL?" It's funny, but Randy was a great guy to drink with for sure.
I remember going out with Randy in Philly, and we're at the bar.
Oh yeah, you guys went for that tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, we were in that tournament, and people came up to the players came up, and Randy would sign everything.
Oh, he was great with kids, man.
Yep, great with kids, and he would sign everything before 8 p.m. Then the beer would start.
Then he's wrecked.
Yeah, the beer would start flowing, and that was it. And
he'd settle up in Henny's seats, and he knew the chick. She knew us because we were so frequent.
Yep.
And he'd be like, "A la carte rum, a la carte vodka," and he goes, "Just don't even ask us. Keep it coming."
Yep. All right. Well, we're a little over an hour, so we got to kind of cut it short. So, is there anything else you want to touch on the NHL before we sign?
No, I had a couple of things, but we could do it on the next one. I got out the Toronto stuff. There's going to be a lot of people mad at me about Matthews, but I like it.
Well, I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, are we in a fashion show, or are we playing hockey?
Well, listen, I seen a picture of the kid. He's got little pipe cleaners.
Yeah.
Like fucking train.
Well, I thought he was actually getting bigger.
But that's what everyone said. He got in great shape.
Yeah,
not no more, man.
There's something going on. The last 4 or 5 months, looks like he's lost a lot of weight.
Listen, I just want the kid to stop with all the fucking, but it's not going to happen.
No.
You want to hear Mike Danton talk about Matthews? Wow. I think if you go on Mike Danton's X account, Twitter, he's made some fucking brutal comments.
Yeah, I have read some of those.
Yeah, he goes right after him.
Wow.
But he played. Mike played, right? He knows what it takes. And Mike played with Keith Tkachuk, with Chris Pronger, with Doug Waite, with fucking Scott Stevens, with guys that know how to win. So he's seen it. Like, one night we'll sit down with Mike. You got to hear. These guys take care of themselves.
Right.
Now, Walt, he liked the beer bottle, but there was a time Walt was a fucking killer.
Right.
Big, strong, fucking cross-check you in the teeth to score a goal. Mean.
Okay, there was one other point I wanted to ask you, and now I'm struggling to make it. But this first overall pick that you were talking about, that Canada's pinning their hopes on, where do you think he's going to go? Who do you think?
They already said he's 100% first overall next year. So they're saying the Ducks are in line to get him, and then the commentator said, "Oh, the poor kid."
That's a fucking disaster for the Ducks.
Well, because
Absolutely.
Everyone knows they're not being run correctly, and that
No.
it's like the Blue Jays. You gotta be run. Like, I'll tell you what, if Verbeek wants to save himself, he needs to hire a fucking coach.
He needs to hire a GM because he can't fucking draft. I mean, he's blown the last 2 drafts. Blown them. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I can't figure any of that out.
All right, so you're gonna combine the two and make one, right?
It's all on the same loop.
Oh, beautiful.
That's why they get the big bucks.
It's good timing to get it out with Canada, Toronto, what's going on right now.
Yep. All right, this is Chef's Kitchen. Stay hungry.
Stay hungry, folks. 30